Hi, I'm John Ross, technical trader and analyst at Banyan Publishing. Imagine for a second an energy source that's 50,000 times larger than all the oil and gas resources on this planet combined. That's huge, but we've barely even tapped into it. Now, we have the chance to tap into a company today that's a leader in this industry, a leader in this energy source. But before I tell you about that company, let me just kind of give you some insight into this energy source I'm talking about. It's geothermal energy, and it's essentially just earth heat. Now, deep in the Earth's core, it gets very hot. We're talking like temperatures that rival the surface of the sun. That's how hot it gets, and maybe just a mile or two below the Earth's surface, there are these reservoirs of water and gas that are locked and trapped inside rock. Now, the Earth heats up these reservoirs, creates these geothermal fluids that companies like the one I'll tell you about today, that they tap into, they can pump out of the ground, and they can use to generate electricity. Now, to give you some context, the amount of electricity that the US generates from geothermal energy makes up 0.4% of total electricity generation. Now, that's just a small segment of the renewable energy generation in the US, and an even smaller segment of total energy generation in the US when you start factoring in things like fossil fuels that continue to be a dominant energy source. But the potential for geothermal energy can grow by leaps and bounds in the coming years. Now, based on existing online capacity of geothermal energy, some estimates put the potential for growth at 9 times, and that's huge. But that just factors in current technologies, current available resources that we can tap into. But technology is improving quickly. One company who's helped the oil and shale gas revolution is working on what they call enhanced geothermal systems. Now, this has the potential to make geothermal energy far more accessible, not just to the companies that are already producing it and tapping into it, but to many, many more. And when this happens, as this technology comes to fruition, some estimates say that we have the potential to unlock, just in the US alone, 100 to 500 gigawatts, not megawatts, but gigawatts of geothermal energy. Now, this company I'm about to tell you about is Ormat Technologies, and they currently have 851 megawatts of geothermal energy operation in play right now. So when you think about 851 megawatts versus 100 to 500 gigawatts, the potential to unlock more geothermal energy is huge. And it's one of the reasons I think this company, Ormat Technologies, is giving us such a great opportunity today. But in the more short term, let's look at a chart to get an idea of why today is such a good opportunity. This is a weekly chart of Ormat Technologies, and it goes back to late 2015, early 2016, when Ormat began a 2-year uptrend. Now, I told some readers about this then, maybe shortly after it started building some upside momentum. And over that 2-year period, Ormat barely gave investors a chance to get in, to buy if they hadn't already purchased. Today, I think we're getting a great opportunity to get into a great stock. Now, I've marked on the chart a 50% retracement. I've also marked a 38.2 and 61.8% retracements as well, just to kind of give you an idea of some of the common retracements that I watch. This is essentially just a pullback that retraces a certain amount of the previous uptrend. In this case, for Ormat, they retraced 50% of that 2-year uptrend I just talked about. Now, I think this is a great chance to get in, as I said, to a great stock. Now, if you're a more aggressive trader, you could probably just trade Ormat for the rest of this year, the potential to make a double-digit gain, maybe 15% by the time the year is over. But if you want to sit on something a little bit longer, I have much higher expectations for Ormat. Over the course of next year, assuming the broad stock bull market does not get derailed, I think Ormat has the potential to return as much as 40%. And even this, I think, is relatively conservative. I think based on the way that this industry is moving along and the potential for technology to help improve it and make it more accessible, the potential for regulation and policy to begin supporting the development of geothermal, I think it really has, it really gives us a good chance to get in before everyone's really talking about this space. Now, Ormat is, as I said, a leader. They're the largest U.S.-based producer and operator in the geothermal energy business. They're a good company, not just because they have a strong stock price or a strong trend, but they're an integrated company. They don't just produce geothermal energy, but they also produce the equipment that other geothermal companies use to be in this space. They also produce technology that allows geothermal producers or even other manufacturers and industrial companies to harness the heat that is wasted away in their normal production processes, harness that, recycle it, and reuse it back in the production process. They're also getting into, or have gotten into, the energy storage business. So they provide turnkey battery solutions that allow grids and whatnot to, or geothermal companies, for instance, to really make the most of the energy that they're producing. So Ormat really, covers the entire spectrum here. Great, solid company. Again, I think technically today we have a great opportunity to get in, and it's something I think you should very seriously consider for your portfolio, for your trading activity in the months ahead. So hope this idea sort of sits well with you. I hope you're able to consider this and see if it makes sense for you. We thank you for being here. We thank you for listening. We'll talk soon.